Okay, so your first word is speech. We all know what a speech is. We've heard people give speeches. So right, speech is the vocalized form of human communication. That's a formal definition. You've heard people stand up and give speeches all the time, whether you're in class, whether it's the president, whether you're the president of a company, people give verbal speeches. The difference in giving a speech and reading something is going to be that when you're giving a speech, you have to be able to get your point across to people that aren't following along with you. They're not reading along with you. So you have to make sure that your material is engaging. And you also have a short amount of time to engage these people. So you have to be able to pick certain words that are going to make the most impact. That means we're going to also include some strong imagery so that our audience can picture what we're talking about. And again, as we talked about before, tone is going to be very important. You have to be able to get the attention of your audience. Otherwise, they will boo you off the stage. So does everyone have speech is the vocalized form of human communication? And then maybe put something about word choice, imagery, and tone on there. Has anyone heard of the term illusion before?
An illusion?
Kind of a tough one. Not an illusion, an allusion. Two different words. Allusion means that you refer back to something. Generally, these are common things that people know about, such as the Bible, such as Shakespeare. It could be a movie. Have you ever had a favorite movie and you quoted it, or you said, you are acting like so and so? You're alluding to something that has already been made. You're making a reference. So write down, allusion is referring back to another work.
Word.
So when you're giving a speech and you allude to something else, it gives more depth to what you're saying in fewer words. We're not explaining this whole story. Maybe we're talking about a Bible reference or something like that. So people are grasping what you're saying even more, but in fewer words. Word choice, this is also called diction. On your EOC you may see that word, so I would write it down. When you're giving a speech, or when you're just writing in general, it is important to select certain words that hold certain meanings. So if you choose words that maybe convey a stronger image, or maybe convey some type of emotion or feeling behind them, your audience will get a better sense of what you're talking about. And as we said before, in a speech it's extremely important because you only have so many words to say. You don't want to give a hour-long speech majority of the time. You're there for a short amount of time. You want to keep everyone's attention and not bore them to death.
No, I keep the attention.
Yes.
So just write.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought I already
Write down word choice is also called diction. And word choice is important in speeches because you only have a certain amount of time and a certain number of words to get your point across. Do you need a tissue? Parallel structure, this is kind of an odd one because we do it without really thinking about it. So your definition is going to be a list of actions or items that all have the same grammatical units. Now that doesn't sound very nice, it sounds very confusing, but I'll give you an example. So this one is done with nouns. We'll also do an example with verbs. So my sentence using parallel structure would be, I bought a dress, a watch, and a purse. All of those things are singular, so I keep them all in that order, singular. If I'm not doing parallel structure, which isn't proper grammar, I would say, I bought a dress, I went to a shoe store, and I was thinking about buying a necklace. All different things, very disjointed. So it's keeping that same order. So this was a singular noun. I keep my singular noun throughout the things that I've done. I'll give you the example of verbs on this slide here. Tomorrow I will drive to work, teach my classes, and go home. This is all what I will do, the future tense, so it all stays the same. The wrong way to do it would be tomorrow I will drive to work, taught my classes, and I'm going to drive home. That doesn't even sound right. That sounds a mess. So that is not the correct way to do it. Parallel, think of two straight lines. You're staying straight with what you're talking about. You're not jumping all over the place with it. Does that make sense? It's a weird one, but when you hear it and you read it, it makes sense. Anyone have any questions or need to go back to any slides? We're all short. Okay.
Oh, that one, that last one.